Hi, I'm Josh and I've been working with the Servite and CEWA teams over the past 2.5 to 3 weeks as we implement leading lights in our pilot program. So this essentially from an IT point of view includes the transition from our Servite owned tenant through to the CEWA tenant, moving all of our students from our domain into their domain. Now, from our point of view as a surface-based school for years 11s and 12s, this is quite a complicated process as we are required to essentially touch every device again and re-image them, ready for the new tenant. So from my point of view, I was looking after the student devices, ensuring that we backed all their stuff up and moved them over to the new image successfully, and then rejoined the Azure domain with CEWA and ensured a seamless process for them as they were migrated and collected their devices during the holidays, at the end of the holidays, and at the start of term. So the process for that included essentially four steps, meaning backup, a re-image, a restore, and a completion step where we configure the device. So each of these steps would take a different amount of time, and it would depend on the number of devices that we received. So for example, at Servite, we opted for a maximum hand-in day, if you like, at the end of term, where we could collect as many devices as possible and turn them over as quick as possible. So this basically meant that we had to have a strict process to ensure that the data was kept, but also that we could do it in a timely fashion and understand the capabilities of our network. So this occurred over the past 2 weeks, where we received approximately 300 devices from students and re-imaged them ready for their collection on their return. So we backed probably 2/3 of them up, as the other third had managed their own backups, but 2/3 of them were backed up on our own drives and then migrated to another backup drive, ensure that we had some redundancy there. We re-imaged the device, we then configured it on the new domain and restored their stuff for them. After that, we were in the transition process on our technical side, so we had to wait until the back end we completed some steps before we could then hand this device back to the student and reconfigure them for the start of term. So this was cumbersome, large, complicated, and given the nature of planning, it was quite stressful. However, through the support of the back team being Michael Lester and Cam Zivkovic from CEWA, along with many others, we were able to do this, and I couldn't thank the boys enough for their technical guidance, given my lack of, I suppose, technical understanding on the server side of things, but we were able to image them well ahead of time and have them back to the students before or when they came back to pick them up. So overall, I think we had the right number of people, perhaps a few too many cooks, if you like, in terms of how the process was made, but overall we had a common goal. We had lots of staff working overtime and putting a lot of effort in, so it was a smooth transition. And I think from the perspective of CEWA, they were able to learn a lot from us and basically from the lessons learned. And there are many of those, from how we handled students, how we handled forms, how the data was managed from the technical side, also onto the softer, if you like, student side, making sure that when we were complete, all data was managed correctly and the students had a pretty seamless transition, which is the aim of a process such as this, to ensure that when the students come in, they've only got the positives of the new leading lights environment rather than any of the negatives of slow devices or missing data.